Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you guys had this problem before? You start working on your car and for whatever reason your regular tools or your specialty tools simply just give up while you're doing the job. So, broken set of pliers, twisted breaker bar, sheared off puller bolt. Well, that happened to me a few months ago. I was minding my own business, doing a normal clutch and flywheel replacement, when I ran into what was probably the most stuck flywheel I've ever encountered. My puller, this puller I've had for 26 years, it has done countless clutches and flywheels, and I've also lent this out to other club members for them to use, so it's seen plenty of use. Now, this is the Sykes brand, and it just has a normal, I think, 8.8 grade bolt in the center, but you can clearly see that it is simply sheared in half under the stress of trying to remove said flywheel here. I tried many techniques. I tried hitting the boss using metal hammer punch type tooling. Didn't work. I tried heating the boss with the puller under tension. Did not budge. I tried a few of the dubious internet suggestions on removing stock flywheels. This pentagram of de-sticking did not appear to work at all. But ultimately, the main pulley bolt sheared off after I switched to my largest extension bar. The end result of a day like this is being covered in grease, sweat, and usually busted knuckles. The only way to fill the void of sadness that this project leaves behind in you is to go out and get bigger and more robust tools. So what do you do to replace this type of puller with one that's more robust? Well, let me show you. Yeah, it's heavy. The KAD Ultimate Flywheel Puller is what you buy. So, right away, this is the main center bolt. As you can see, substantially larger, although I'm no expert. The center hub, significantly thicker. The threaded portion is also a larger section, thicker section, so more threads. And you get the standard little cup to press on the center of the flywheel, and the rest of it is hardware. Now, these are grade 10.9 cap-head screws in both coarse and fine for doing both Verto and pre-Verto clutches. Clearly, I've already used this one. Now, you can tell right away that this is a hardened tool steel. It can certainly handle quite a bit of abuse. But you can tell that this is built for constant shop use. The build quality is excellent, the material is excellent, and just the fact that this is a larger, finer thread, again, large threaded boss center, this is all designed to be used with impact guns to get those stuck flywheels off. So I bought this because I needed to get that flywheel off, and after having spent a day using long breaker bars and whatnot with this, it was clear that this flywheel was not coming off anytime soon, so I wanted to go to the heaviest duty, most robust tool that I possibly could, and that was the KAD flywheel puller. Other versions of these are available from other sellers. I simply just got the KAD one because they had one in stock, and since I was in the middle of this job, I needed one right away. The one downside to this puller is that this extremely long bolt compared to this shorter version, you can see the two side by side. This extra length up here means that when you fit this in situ, trying to get a flywheel out of a car, the inner fender well is right up against the head, so you can only use this one with open end wrenches trying to get a flywheel out of the car. Not a problem on the bench because you know unlimited access to the back end of this. But if you're trying to use this on an in-place clutch replacement, you'll be very disappointed because it's a very tight fit, and you can't get a closed socket or even a closed-end wrench because, like I said, there's no space. The inner fender well is right up against the head of this thing. So if I could change this design, I'd probably take about an inch out of the overall length just to give me clearance to get a box end wrench onto the end of this, at least. If not, get a socket and a cap, you know, breaker bar on the end of this. But that's my complaint about this kit, is that this thing is just a bit too long for in-car use. However, it's just fine for bench work. While I was buying flywheel pullers, I went ahead and bought another version of the Sykes. This is the DIY spares version. You'll notice it's basically a direct copy of the Sykes, but without the webbing. Now, I have used this a couple times as well, and again, it comes with the same type of bolt. However, this bolt is a 10.9, whereas this one was 8.8 grade, so they are using a much harder center bolt, which is great because you know, that was the problem with this kit, is that the center bolt broke. So this is a much higher quality bolt with the spares kit. And like I said, I have used this a couple times in place, and it works just fine. It works just as well as this one did. But if you're going to be doing anything that's serious and substantial and doing a lot of them, you'll need this type of kit. Ah, come on. Ugh, it just won't budge. Since I could not get this flywheel off with the long breaker bar, it was now time to test out the impact rating of the center bolt with one of my impact guns. Again, another one of those trusty tools that I've used for years, and I've had no problems with it, despite it being an older model. It's been working just fine for any time I need to use air impact. So I've got the KAD flywheel puller hooked up to this flywheel with the bolts all attached. Got my impact wrench here, socket. So let's see if we can get this off. In the end, despite my best efforts with the air impact gun, this flywheel simply would not budge. My only remaining option is my secret weapon. I was going to have to karate chop this flywheel.